Shit's about to get real weird. Real weird. There is a house next to the hospital that has wind chimes. Every time I walk past them to go into the hospital, I feel that they will tell me whether there will be a storm or not, depending on how loud they are chiming in the wind. Today, they were ringing off the chain. Today is Monday, so I had to park in the garage. Another $29 donation to the city. Just paying my dues. I'm the later shift again, so finding a parking spot is pretty much impossible. I reluctantly hand my keys to the valet, but it's not the kind of valet service that you think you may be getting in other circumstances. I always wonder if my car is going to be there when I get back. Actually, my biggest worry is that I'm never going to find my car and I have to spend an hour deliriously looking for it as I stumble under the dark night sky. I take my ticket and begin walking across the street past the bus stop to the doors of the emergency department. Before I could get in, I noticed a gentleman sitting outside near the bus stop in a wheelchair. He's holding his head in his hands, completely disheveled, with one shoe on and one shoe off. Never a good look for anyone. I took a closer step and I noticed that his pants are full, bulging, and wet. Underneath him is a pile of diarrhea. I know this patient. I saw his face. "Roger?" I yelled. He looked startled and moved his hands away from his face. "Are you okay, man?" "Yeah, I'm great," he said, and he really meant it. It was so strange because you would think that if you were sitting in a pile of your own shit, that things wouldn't be particularly great. But I guess for Roger, he was still alive and kicking, and that was good enough for him. I asked him if he needed any assistance, and he assured me that he was fine. He was great. Like 3 times. "Fine, great, okay, well, you know where to find us. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink," I thought. And I continued my trek into the department. I made sure to avoid a pile of vomit, and I stayed far away from the trash cans that always smelled strongly of urine. I noticed that an angry-appearing man was pacing and yelling, talking to himself outside of the department doors. He had 2 cigarettes in his hands. He would smoke one, put his hand down, and then smoke the other one. I thought to myself, well, I guess one could be marijuana, but I wasn't going to ask him. I mean, it's legal anyway. No biggie. He was talking about the large rhino that he saw running around in the courtyard that stole his hamburger. Honestly, this was not expected today. But I would say it does fit along with the general normalcy that I find in our city. Our city's mentally ill and drug-addicted patients are truly a perfect storm. They are out of their meds or they aren't taking them. They're high on something and their brains are out of whack, and they're making a commotion disturbing the peace. Sometimes they hurt themselves. Sometimes they hurt others. They have zero insight to know that their actions are quite scary to the 3-year-old who is being dragged into the emergency department with their mother. Even when I ask the patients to be decent because there are children present, I'm often responded with the phrase, "Fuck off, bitch." I think I have developed great de-escalating skills since working at the hospital. You might think that responding to someone yelling at you and threatening your life with an equal obscenity or bad behavior would be warranted. In these particular instances, calm, cool, and collected approaches are the best way to navigate the situation. Sometimes ignoring it helps, if they aren't hurting anyone, which this guy wasn't. Today I decided just to say hi and see where that got me. Surprisingly, I got a hi back. Look at me starting the day with positivity. Then back to the rants he went about the rhino and the hamburger. I was just thinking to myself, maybe I should eat before I go in. No, I don't have time. As soon as I entered the doors, they slammed shut behind me, and for some reason I felt safe. I walked past the nursing station and began to put my bag down. All of a sudden, I hear a very loud revving of multiple engines outside the doors. The doors I just walked through. Will they still protect me? One of the male nurses came running down the hall saying, "Everybody put on gloves. Come outside. We have a mass casualty approaching. I don't know what's going on. Everybody, come on, let's go." Did I panic? No. But I did worry that my wallet was still in my bag, and I probably should lock that up before I run outside. And what about my Diet Cokes? They're not in a bag. Damn it. Someone's going to drink them. I just know it. I quickly grabbed my wallet, left the Diet Cokes, shoved the wallet down my pants, and got some gloves, of course. When a nurse tells me to do something quick, I do it. As soon as I make it to the door, there are 8 to 10 different ATVs and motorcycles in the middle of the sidewalk. This is not part of the road. Then they throw a young male onto the ground, essentially into my arms. Into my arms. They drove off, covering their faces and revving their engines more. The patient appeared alive, but his knee was hanging on by a string. Or should I say, the last ligament he had left there. There was blood everywhere. The patient was pale, diaphoretic, mumbling, but he did say his name was Pete. Like magic, the nurses rolled over with a stretcher and helped the man onto the gurney without a pause. Calmly, I held his hand as we rushed him to the resuscitation bay, and I gave report about what I just saw. This is a 20-something-year-old male. He was just dumped off by a motorcycle gang. ATV. It doesn't matter. Obviously, deformity of the left leg. Patient is pale and diaphoretic. His name is Pete. And then I walked towards the door. My shift isn't in resuscitation today, so I had to leave him there, in the capable hands, of course. A slew of people descend on the patient. There's probably about 20 people in the room. The head resident starts calling off orders, and the trauma surgeon is walking in the door. They hand me their cup of coffee and ask me to do something with this. I walk over to the red contamination trash bin, step on the pedal, and drop it right in. Taken care of, I said. Well, the surgeon said, I didn't ask you to throw it away. That was rude. Rude, I said. I guess we're even.